All right, hello, friends and family. So I'm going to be sharing with you about Missio Dei, which is the Lord's mission. And the Lord's mission is to make sure that the ends of the earth, all the way to the ends of the earth, are reached with the gospel, that everyone has a chance to choose Him for themselves. And the church's mission in response to this is to take the gospel to the ends of the earth and give everybody the opportunity to choose Jesus for themselves and to have a life that is changed for eternity. And so on a practical level, we're going to discuss I'm going to tell you about 3 reasons why we are called to spread the gospel. And the first one is because Jesus Himself gave us the mission to do so. And secondly, because there are still portions of the world that have yet to receive the gospel. And thirdly, because the Lord has made it practical for us to do so and has given us some steps that I'm going to share with you. So first, Jesus called us in the Great Commission to go and share the gospel to the ends of the earth. This can be found in Matthew 28. For the sake of time, I won't read it. But the Lord tells us Himself to therefore go and make disciples of all nations, tongues, and tribes. The church has come a long way so far in being able to fulfill this endeavor. However, there are still parts of the world that have yet to be reached for the gospel. And so how we are going to do that is by then going over that there are still parts of the world that have yet to be reached by the gospel. 29%, in fact, have yet to receive or have a chance to choose who Jesus is, because there's nobody even stepping foot or planting a church or trying to reach them with the gospel. And this area of the world is usually the 1040 window that covers some of Northern Africa, Middle East, Asia area that is not really reached by the gospel. And to give you an example, like for the Arab world alone, there's about 800 Muslim groups, at least 800 Muslim groups that have yet to be reached by the gospel. That's not even counting other religions and people who don't even identify with the religion. And the Lord loves them and has a heart for them, and they will not be lost forever. And another statistic that would show this place is in need of our attention as the body of Christ is that 3% of missionaries are sent to this place, and even less than that, only 1% of our funds from the church are being sown to see people get to know Christ here. I do believe that the Lord has been speaking that this place, the 1040 window, there's a lot of fear that has been struck into the hearts of the people living there, but there's also been a lot of fear struck into the church about these people, and these people are not far gone. They're not too lost. The Lord has equipped us to live selflessly, and Jesus Himself has shown us what it looks like to give our lives for the people that we love, what it looks like for a friend. There is no greater love than the love of a friend that would give up his life for his friends. And so that then brings me to point 3, that the Lord made this mission practical. The God that we serve is both spiritual and practical, and He knows that we need a strategy. Missiology is actually the science of how to communicate the Christian faith cross-culturally. And that is because the goal of missions is to intelligently articulate the gospel, that it has power to change lives in different cultural contexts. And so first, that requires us knowing that we have a collective call and an individual call to missions, meaning the collective call as the body of Christ is to fulfill the Great Commission. Our individual call is knowing that the Lord has told us and given us specific roles in this mission to achieve the goal of all nations, all tribes, all tongues coming to know Jesus. So what is this strategy? What is this call that He's called us to? So the first strategy in which that we are to share the gospel and the most important is that we would plant the church where the church has yet to be planted. And secondly, when we're planting the church, to cultivate a heart that the church is important, because when the church recognizes its responsibility to give the gospel, but also to transmit the heart of Jesus to reach the ends of the earth, that's how the church replicates itself and reaches to the end of the earth. And so, all of you, I commission you to know that you are a child of God that is fearless, and that you were called and chosen to go reach to the ends of the earth, and that the Lord has prepared you, that he has called you, that there is a need, and that lastly, he is practical and he has the practical steps for you to get there.